Pennsylvania took a big step forward last year toward repairing and upgrading deteriorating infrastructure with the passage of a major transportation bill. All summer long, crews have been on the ground and on bridges across the Commonwealth, catching up on deferred maintenance and breaking ground on some new construction as well, including the so-called Southern Expressway. Well, it's all none too soon. The American Society of Civil Engineers is out with its latest report card on infrastructure. And Pennsylvania got pretty lousy grades. Ralph Gilbert is past president of ASCE Pittsburgh and business development manager for Jacobs Engineering. Linda Kaplan is president of ASCE's Younger Member Forum and a bridge engineer at Gannett Fleming. And welcome. Good to see both of you. Thanks for coming down.
Good to see you, Bill. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I don't know if you should be happy or not, though. You guys are not exactly the bearers of glad tidings.
Unfortunately, no.
Yeah. I mean, we're spending now, I guess, at least on transportation, a couple $2 billion a year, so that's good news, but clearly it's not enough to deal with all the issues you're finding.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a challenge for us as we move ahead to not only find the funds, but to focus them in the right areas. And as you alluded to, the report card for Pennsylvania, which ASCE has done approximately every 4 years, the last one was back in 2010, we again found that there were 7 major areas of deficiency that ranked in the D category, D plus to D minus, and most of these focus in the areas of water and transportation, as you mentioned.
So that's obviously the focus is important by the state, but those are really the big issues. So what kinds of, and I guess, is this a part of a national effort as well, or is this strictly for Pennsylvania?
This branches off of a national effort. The American Society of Civil Engineers nationally issues their report card every 4 years. And then the year following that, Pennsylvania issues theirs, and about half the states across the nation issue individualized report cards.
Okay, so, and I guess infrastructure is a challenge for the whole United States. It's not just us, but we do have really specific areas. So some of the biggest challenges you all saw when you took a look at it?
Well, as we mentioned, surface transportation, bridges and roads were both in the D category, as well as water, both wastewater and drinking water, scored very low as well.
It's just lack of maintenance? I mean, what's responsible for why we do so poorly in terms of these grades?
Well, I don't think it's a lack of attention or lack of interest on the part of our public agencies. Certainly they're well aware of what needs to be done. I think overall it's a lack of continuous dedicated funding, a dedicated stream of funding that will not only address new projects as they come along, but to take care of the operations and maintenance in the facilities that have been built over the last 50 years or so. And that's where we're caught in that catch-22 of needing to move ahead with improvements, but also needing to invest major dollars, as we're seeing now, beginning to come forward with the Act 89 dollars into major repair and maintenance projects right here in District 11 as an example.
And then that's in the transportation universe. I know the numbers were staggering. Almost a quarter of 22,000 bridges structurally deficient in Pennsylvania, which we heard a lot about last year. But the one that's kind of emerging is this whole stormwater issue, which has another huge price tag on it.
Yes.
Yes, and Alcosan, if you don't mind me addressing that, is under a consent decree to address their combined sewer overflow and wastewater management issues. And they're faced with a multi-billion-dollar program to enact over the next probably 10 to 20 years to correct the combined sewer overflows as part of their wet weather program.
So that keeps that'll help over time if we make the investment to get the sewage out of the rivers every time it rains around here.
Right.
But I was shocked too to see that drinking water is such a big issue as well. We've been hearing a little bit about the stormwater issue, but I never thought about drinking water.
Yeah, drinking water is a big issue as well. And it's one that I think impacts everybody. I think it's one that people can really relate to, because how many times a day do you turn the tap on?
Sure. Well, and some of this you think, obviously, roads and bridges, rail, I mean, you cover it all in there. You cover it all in the report card. All of that is critical to keeping the economy functioning. But when you start talking about sewage in the rivers or issues around drinking water, you're talking about public health, too. This is about all of us.
Absolutely. It certainly can reach into the public health issues. Fortunately, we haven't seen any major issues develop yet. So that's one of the reasons we want to stay on top of this right now and continue to push for the additional funding that will help raise the grades in those areas that we talked about, the 4 areas in water and the 3 in transportation, which by the way included transit, to raise those grades from D- on up into at least an acceptable C level. I think that's our overall goal.
Just want to be average, right?
Well,
that's a goal.
We would love to be in B or better. I don't know that that's realistic, considering all the challenges that were faced here in the Commonwealth with the funding.
Wow. Well, I at least was heartened. There are a couple of categories where we do get those Bs. We're very good, right? Freight rail, which is intriguing, and also I'm glad to hear Parks and Recreation.
Yeah, that's one that we were very excited about. It's good for our region, it's good for attracting people to the area, and it is in good shape. It is still a B. There's definitely, particularly in operations and maintenance, part of that work to be done, and investments that need to be made to maintain that. But yeah, that is one that's very positive.
Well, it's all important, and as we know, as we make these investments, we put people to work, and when we buy materials and supplies around here too, so it has a stimulative effect on the economy just doing this kind of work. Where do people get a copy of the report card to check it out?
Report card can be found at pareportcard.org. Online. All the grades are there, all the detailed reports, as well as a take action area where you can contact your legislators and let them know how important this is.
Very good. pareportcard.org. Ralph Gilbert, Linda Kaplan from the ASCE. Thank you both so much.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Bill.
And we'll be back with more of our region's business in just a moment. Stay with us.